Hi, Mike Costa back with you on GoAztecs.com, and welcome to the first of many interviews as we get to know the coaches Brady Hoke has brought with him to Montezuma Mesa as they get set to rolling up their sleeves and hopefully resurrecting Aztec football. First off, special teams coach, tight ends coach Dan Ferrigno joins us here on GoAztecs.com. Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm sure it's, is it a busy time of year for you right now, or now that recruiting period has passed, is there the opportunity there to take a breath, maybe take a step back, or is just the work continue to pile up?
The work continues to pile up because we're in the process of getting our football all together with the new coaches and preparing for spring practice, which is just around the corner. So there's a lot of work yet to be done. When
you prepare for a spring practice, I mean, what exactly goes into that? It's not just, I'm assuming it's not just writing down, all right, cone drills at 3 o'clock, agility drills at 3:15, that type of thing. It's got to be much more complex than that.
It's a lot more complex, especially this year because the offenses are new and the defenses are new and the whole system is new. So there's a lot more work. You know, we've got a lot of football coaches who have coached in a lot of different systems. Well, now we're learning Coach Borges' system and Coach Long's system, Coach Hoke's way of doing things. So, yeah, there's a lot more to it this time of year.
We know about Rocky Long's 3-3-5 defense and what he was able to do at New Mexico. We know what Brady was able to do at Ball State. Those systems completely diverse, or have you been around long enough where it's not your first rodeo, as they say?
It's not our first rodeo because Brady and Rocky and I actually all worked together on defense with Rocky at Oregon State. So Brady had some exposure to that.
Okay.
And then you know, Rocky brings a lot to the table, as does Al, you know, with Al's offenses. Al's been successful every place he's been.
Special teams coach, tight ends coach. A lot on your plate, a lot on a plate for a football coach. Is there something it's easy to balance?
It's easy to balance because we've got a lot of experienced coaches who have coached in special teams before, like LaCharles McDaniel. Mark Smith has done a lot of work with special teams. Tony White, you know, has played a lot of positions just recently, which is a big help. So we've got a lot of good help, and it'll make the transition easy.
Dan, is there a recipe? Is there a chart or a graph, or is there the golden rule per se for special teams success?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, it's protecting the football when you're kicking it, you know, as a punter, having great coverage. You know, that's the thing. And then when you possess the ball, you possess it. You don't give it up. I think those things right there, and just the punting and the kick return games, and then being able to put the ball through the post is so crucial and so key. I mean, there's a lot of kids that can do that, but how many kids can do that under pressure when you need it? You know, those type of things. So I guess, you know, protecting the ball and covering the ball is key.
And special teams in the Mountain West are so strange because, you know, one weekend you're kicking at altitude, another weekend you're here in San Diego, basically at sea level. Are kids pretty good at adapting to those scenarios when it comes to special teams?
They should be. I mean, the biggest thing will be on the returners, you know, just knowing that the ball's going to carry that extra 5 yards. Haven't coached a lot, you know, in the Mountain West, coached against Mountain West teams at Wyoming, and did notice that when we were up there, that is a difference, you know. So I think that's where the adaptation comes.
Do kids at this level, especially, and we really can't talk about the incoming freshmen that you just helped recruit, but the sophomores, the juniors, the seniors at this level, I have to assume that they know at this juncture how important that facet of the game can be to the outcome of a football contest.
It's a third of the game, and Coach Hoke emphasizes it. Will help me coach it, and that will tell them how important it is. That if we're poor in that part of the game, you'll lose games.
These kids here have never had you as a special teams coach. So what's your mindset going to be as you get into spring ball, which is right around the corner? Do you go back to square one with them? Not necessarily saying, okay, this is a football. I'm sure it's going to be a little more advanced than that. But do you have to go back to the classroom maybe day one?
Oh, we will for sure, because they need to learn our system. They need to learn our drills and the mechanics and the things that we're going to do. Because whatever they did before, this will be different. You know, not to say that what they did before was bad, because watching film, I think they did a nice job with special teams here. But our drills, our way of doing things will be different, so we'll have to go back to square one.
How are you on game day?
I'm actually pretty calm, believe it or not.
So you're not the stereotypical special teams coach running up and down the sidelines, jumping and...
No, I'm actually a pretty calm guy, because I want my guys to play that way.
Under control.
Under control. And so where the jumping around comes is making sure that we got 11 out there on the punt team. You know,
that's always key.
So we're not too many, you know. So that's where the jumping around comes. But once the ball's snapped, I'm pretty calm.
The tight end position here at San Diego State, and they really haven't had that big-time go-to receiver type of guy, God, I think since maybe Rob Awelt back on the Holiday Bowl team in the mid-'80s. The tight end in Brady Hoke's position, is it a glorified lineman, or is that a definite weapon?
In Brady Hoke and Al Borges' system, it's a weapon. I think a lot of the reasons we haven't had that is due to the offenses maybe that were run here in the past. The tight end here is a crucial part of what we do: blocking, catching, all that is going to be key. And I like the kids that so far that I've worked with and seen on film. I think we got a chance. Tight
ends you have coached in the past, and one of your star pupils, Tony Gonzalez, who is now a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, although he's still playing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Is that the type of athlete, the type of guy you're looking for in that tight end position?
That's what we'd like to have. I mean, he's the prototypical.
And they don't grow on trees.
No, if we could find Tony Gonzalez, we'd be in good shape. We're going to do our best to find that guy, and that's what you want. You want a rangy guy who can catch the ball and block and run. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. But
you get the opportunity to stay in California, recruit in California. How did it come about? How did you end up as an Aztec coach?
Well, Brady and I go back 25 years, and I worked with Brady for 10 years at 2 different places. And a year ago, he said, there's a chance I might get another job. Would you be interested in coming? And I said, yeah. I said, because I love Brady. I mean, Brady's a great guy. We're buddies. And so when this opportunity came, I jumped on it. And I'm glad I did, because it's good to be reunited with him, Rocky, and knowing Al so long. It's a good fit, and for my family and for me.
Speaking of that family, 3 sons, 3 daughters, and a wife. And a lot of times I've heard coaches talk about the fact that, well, the family is really the hero when it comes to a coach's success, the moving around, the jumping around. Has it been easy? Has it been hard? Or does it just depend on the situation?
It's never easy for your family in this business. My wife does the lion's share of the work, and most of the hardships go her way. We actually have had a commuter marriage, except for the last 3 years, for a good part of our marriage. When I've been in Oregon, when I was at USC, and now again here, we keep a home and our kids up there. So it's never easy, and most of it falls on her. So, and then it's not easy on the kids or me being away from them, but it's just how we have to do it.
How, as we wrap this up, what were your thoughts about San Diego State from an outsider's perspective? Obviously now you're in the red and black family. You're, as they say, one of us. But from the outside looking at the program, were you like the rest of us? The big question, how come they're not winning?
I've always wondered. And now when I get here, I see the potential, and I know we're going to be successful. Because to recruit to this place, I know I'm going to have the Northern California area. I know kids are going to like it here. And I think that we can be attractive. And it all comes down to recruiting and getting the right type of kid, not just athletically, but mentally, the kids that are tough that can fit in your program. And I think we'll be able to do that here, and I think we have a lot to offer. And I always did wonder why, because I know I've been, growing up in California, come to San Diego a lot, I always said, wow, what a great place to live, and it is.
Finally, the microphone is yours. Any special message for the very loyal Aztec fans who are going to watch this on GoAztecs.com?
You hang in there with us, and we're going to be just fine, and we're going to win.
Dan, I really appreciate your time. A belated welcome to the Aztec family.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mike.